Okay? I'd like you to take a moment to think about the communication you may have had with anyone today. Right? Could be with your loved one, it could be with your children, it could be with your spouse, with your colleagues. In the communication that you had, you will find that almost 10 out of 10 times there is this mode. What do I get out of this in your communication? Take a moment, think about it. Maybe your mother calls you on the phone and you start thinking, what do I get out of this?
What does she want?
Huh?
What does she want?
Yeah, what does she want? So what do I get out of this is if I spend 10 minutes on the phone with her. Right? You start getting into that mode. Or, long-time friend. You start to think, why is she calling me? What do I get out of this?
Not again.
Or not again. What do I get out of it? Okay, we get into this mode. So if we stop operating, if we become more aware of this particular pattern or button that goes off within us, we become more aware of this, you will find that your communication with other people will become a much more pleasant experience. Because then you're not second guessing. You're not, do you know what I mean? You are really seeing the person as the person is at this point in time, speaking, communicating, facial expressions, actions, words. Then you're really perceiving the person and you enjoy the connection there and then much more effectively, and you feel happier. Okay? So for romantic relationships to work, it takes a lot of work, alright, to make romantic relationships work. Because if you have to be on your toes all the time, well, I wouldn't say being on the toes. That doesn't sound very positive. But if you perhaps practice what we call it as joyous vigilance, to be vigilant but with joy, then you will find that your communication with your romantic partner will become much nicer, because then you're not in the mode of, what am I going to get out of this? Okay? And you will also find that in any relationship, you want it to work. If you want love from your partner, you have to give love first. Does that make sense? If you want respect from your partner, then you have to respect your partner, respect yourself first. If you want money, alright, then you have to also give in the money, right? Contribute. If you want whatever you want in the relationship, you have to be the one to give it first, because this is how it works in the universe. This is the law of attraction. Whatever you put out, you receive. Whatever is in your mind, you attract. If you have negative things in your mind, you are going to repel positive things, and you're going to attract negative things. So in relationships, the law of attraction comes into play. Okay, no, at the beginning of the relationship, okay, law of attraction really works there, right? You're so attracted to each other, you can't keep your hands off each other, constantly on the phone with each other, things like that. But later on, as the relationship matures, you find that the law of attraction doesn't seem to be working, but it is still working. Just working on a different level. It is working with your mind. It is working with your energies, working what are the seed pods in your mind. If you feel irritated with your partner is going to give you that experience to be irritated. If you feel love, you want love, give love. You want respect, you have to give respect. if you want your partner to think positively about you, then you have to start by thinking positively about your partner. And even if your partner does not think positively about you, you remain positive, you remain happy, and eventually you will attract the energies of positivity, laws of attraction. Okay, this is something that no one can run away from. Okay, in spiritual terms, this is laws of karma, right? Whatever you have, you attract. Whatever, you either magnetize or repel energies. That's all there is to it. So same with your emotional body. If your emotional body is filled with joy all the time, then you find that your partner is like, by way of osmosis, will also be filled with joy. I mean, how can you not be joyous if you're around a person who's joyous all the time? Right? Now, if your partner is angry all the time, and if you are not careful and you give your power away by power of osmosis, you also become angry all the time. Okay? If you notice, let's say in a play school with little children running around, if one kid starts to cry, by the power of osmosis, everybody starts to throw a temper tantrum, everybody starts crying, right? Why? Because the energy builds. And it's very powerful. Do not underestimate, how powerful the emotional body is. It is one of the most powerful bodies that we have in our energy system. Okay, the emotional body is very powerful. The emotional body gets its energy from the mental body. So if the mental body is focused, the mental body is positive, then your emotional body will be positive. And this is why when we work with the laws of attraction, for example, we have to utilize our emotional body by generating positive emotions. If you see people working with NLP or working with motivational workshops and all that, they're always feeling high, they go high five and they're jumping around. What are they doing? They're building up energy. They're building up a lot of energy. And they build energy to motivate themselves. I think in some companies, the sales team, every morning they go into this whole ritual of jumping and high five, being happy and powerful. In a group dynamics, it is really powerful. It works for the group, and this is how they can achieve success. Same in your personal relationship. I'm not saying every morning to say high five with your partner, because I think you probably irritate your